Well, now, you know what, my wonderful viewers and followers? I always never cease to remind you that the real cash, the real money, it is the internet. I will repeat again if you've never heard of me talking about this. The real money and the real cash is in the internet. Things are changing. You can see back then during our era, not really our era, but the era of our grandparents and our parents, things used to be working conventionally. You must be employed. But nowadays, the money is in the internet. That's the reality. So if you do not have any online presence, if you do not have any online, appearance somewhere, I am telling you, you are losing out. And guess what, by the way, guys? Technology is fading away. We are now getting something called the AI, the artificial intelligence. Anyway, this is a call. This is an individual who is earning 185,000 Kenyan shillings at the end of the month. And guess what? That's not the most interesting part. The most interesting part, this is a second year in university. He's only 20 years and he's earning that amount of money. I'm pretty sure some of you guys are not earning that amount of money. Or maybe you guys, maybe you're earning that. Maybe there's someone else who there has a family and is not earning that amount of money. That case was so much impressive. Guess what? He was a client. He called me. He told me, hey, you know what, Joseph, I'm in second year. I'm in university. And I'm getting a good amount of money, or so to speak. I'm earning 185,000 and I'm working online and I do this and this and that. And I thought like this is a joke. I thought like, are you trying to joke with me, or are you trying to pull me or something of sort? I had to talk about that, but I explained to the person, I do offer services, be it either we can do physical meeting and we can do online. And the guy insisted, let's do online, or rather let's do the physical meeting. And I said, this is the opportunity, because I would love to borrow a leaf. I would love to borrow an idea for this guy so that I know what he does, how he does it, and maybe perhaps come here, share that information with you, and you can pick a thing that can help you into making whatever he's making. And I met this guy. By the way, it is true. The guy is making that amount of money. The most interesting part was this. How exactly do you manage to get that amount of money and you're a student? He said, listen, because sometimes you tend to think that they're talking about this, I don't know, crypto thing, and those are the things that I never talk about, okay? Now, the guy told me that I am an app developer. And I was like, what is an app developer? And I asked them, okay, fine. How long have you acquired this knowledge for you to do the app developer? And guess what? The guy told me I'm doing app development, where I'm making some different app development, okay, and I'm making some apps of different things. I can make some sort of simple gaming, not get me right, not complicated ones, but simple gaming. He can do some apps maybe for like landlords. He can do some softwares like systems that they can run in a certain business. Maybe you need a certain software to run in a certain business, or maybe sort of a software for data entry and all those kind of things. The guy is just so good in IT. And the thing is this, I asked, okay, are you studying IT in the university? Yeah, he said, I'm studying a computer science kind of a course. And I asked them, okay, fine, how did you reach yourself to this particular point whereby you can be able to earn out of the thing before you even graduate? He told me he come from a very poor background, and what he decided, he dedicated an entire stretch of 6 good months of learning at all the time. So how exactly they do that? He has a computer, he has an internet. Well, by virtue of him being in university, obviously there is a what? There is a free internet somewhere. You can show up to a library. For those who have been in university, they know what I'm talking about, or a college. Now, you see, having those two gadgets, you have the smartphone, you have the computer, and you have the internet. He decided to get into the coding. He decided to get into the web designing. And that is exactly what he's able to do, that particular thing. He's told me, I don't only depend on app development. I also do things we call something like a graphic designing. And this is where I can make people's logo. I can make a logo. I can do sort of, let me just call it branding. You can do branding. You can give them a task to make a logo, a very nice logo for your business, and he can do a very nice branding of the name. He actually showed me some of the places where people are doing the businesses, especially in Nairobi, where they are in Kirinyaga Road, where people are doing spare parts. He showed me some places where he has actually done the branding for those guys in terms of the businesses. Some places where he has actually solved his softwares, and also those softwares whereby you can do the data entry and what have you. This was so quite impressive. So now the point is this, here I'm here to share this information. How exactly, or what exactly can you be able to do so that you can be able to as well earn, if not this amount of money, maybe more than this? And by the way, I know you're watching the video, but did you remember to hit that subscription button down below there on your right? I know on your right, on where I have my subscribers, there is a small button written subscribe. Hit that magical button and also like this video. It does not cost you anything. And guess what happens? You get be notified by YouTube whenever I upload a new good video. So you will never any good miss of good of my good video. Because I know you're asking, okay, what's the importance of subscribing? What if I just watch and ignore? Now that is the importance, okay? Now this is what the guy did, okay? Especially if you're a young person and you're watching this video, or maybe you are old and you have this information you can share with somebody. This guy decided to take a period of 6 months. Pick a thing that you can learn. Okay? So the guy does the graphic design, the guy does the app development, and some other nitty-gritties here and there. Because he said right now what he's doing something called digital marketing. And I am telling you, if there is something that will make people millionaires and rich and wealthy in future, it is digital marketing. And I'm going to dedicate a whole video about this thing, digital marketing. Digital marketing in a situation whereby you are helping the businesses to have an online presence. You are helping them. You are helping to push them to actually advertise them. Because I'll give you a very simple example. What happening is this. Back then, people or companies used to go to the mainstream media and advertise their business there. But there is a new whole of a system that is coming up, the social media. Nowadays, people are actually getting the information even before. For example, personally, I don't even watch TV. Honestly, I don't even watch news. By virtue of me having subscribing to different people who does the social media and all those kind of things, I know all the news, what's happening in our country. That is exactly what is happening. So right now, he's learning the digital marketing. For now, he's good at graphic design. He's good at this app development. By virtue of you being an app developer, you must be a web designer. You must be a web designer. And for that regard, it means that he's able to make some websites. He's able to make some all those kind of things. By default, he also be able to do some coding, and he's also doing what he's selling the master classes on this specific thing. So combination of all these three things, let's say two, because this one is not yet marketable for him, but there's some people who are doing it already. He's able to raise that amount of money. Why? He can get a gig whereby a website, maybe he's charging like 40,000 or 30,000 or 60,000. Okay, but he told me he's not yet there where he can charge a premium amount of money in terms of a website, because I know some people who can develop your website even with 100K. There are people who will tell you even 10,000 I can give your website. Depends on where you are in terms of your development. So he can get a gig on web designing, and again, if you realize maybe the gig goes for 30,000, then he has some other guys whom he has coached, and then he delegates some of the responsibilities. Out of the 30,000, he can decide to get the 10. The 20,000 can go to other people who are doing that development. So that helps him not to get tied to one thing. Then he can be able to grab another job. He can be able to advertise themselves out there, and he can as well do what? He can actually go ahead and sell those what we call the masterclass. And he told me he has several students whom he's teaching all these things, because the fellow students, when he sees their fellow student is actually earning this amount of money, obviously they will develop interest, and he tells them, hey, guess what? I know you are a student. I won't charge you a lot. I'll be charging you, say per session, I'll be charging you 200 or 300, and maybe some several students shows up and he teaches them. He earns money like that. So if you put all that money in one basket, he's summing up to this around this amount of money. And I told him, for God's sake, at 20 years old making this amount of money, don't squander your cash, don't mess up around. Okay? And this is what I always tell people. If you can only take, and if you can listen to me, if you can only take 6 months, and you're in campus, for God's sake. I mean, seriously, your rent is being paid, your food is being paid, to an extent, even your clothing are being paid for, okay? Even sometimes your food. I know sometimes maybe up and down somehow, but at least some of the things are actually held for you. You can actually decide to take these 6 months, only just 6 months. 6 months, pick a thing that works for you. You can say, hey, from today, I want to learn something to do with digital marketing. Now, this, I want to know it in and out. And sometimes, well, if you do have some cash, you can be able to pay somebody who is already doing the digital marketing to help you to hasten the period, to hasten the time, and also to hasten you understanding it better. But if you do not have the money to actually go ahead and pay somebody to teach you the digital marketing, you can learn it by yourself. Though it may likely to take a little bit of time because you are learning from the online and you do not have anybody whom you can consult and all those kind of things, but still it's doable. You can actually go ahead and do that specific thing. Just understand all the nitty-gritties about the advertisement, how to do some ads on YouTube, how to do some ads on Facebook page, how to do so on Instagram, the packaging, how can you be able to package yourself and present it to people, that is companies or the businesses and what have you. Yeah, I understand. I totally understand. This may be a rough ride, especially for the first 1 year, not even 6 months. Let's say after you learning the skills, then you take like a whole another 6 months for you to pushing your business out there, making it be understood by people out there, there, maybe a little bit rough. But at the end of the day, when that thing clocks in, becomes great. For example, me being a content creator, you can take me as an example. Obviously, you can go check my older videos. I didn't even know how to hold a camera, but I remember I used to do like this and record myself, and I could feel so tired. Right now, I have a fixed camera here, I have a stand, I have some lighting, I have a board, I have a pen. Like, I have a microphone. It is started somewhere. But if you just want to start at a successful point, you disregard all the effort that is put before you picking or you reaching to that particular point. That's where we lose what we call the consistency, because you need to have a consistency. And you know what? If you're young, and if you're not even young, let's say you're at your 30s, you can decide to go ahead. Sacrificing a whole stretch of an year does not cost you an arm and leg. I mean, seriously, you can do so. Stretch a whole an year. You say, I'm going to have myself an online presence. I'm going to learn this digital marketing. No, I don't want digital marketing. I'm going to learn this graphic design and logo branding and all those kind of things, or app development. That's what you do. You just pick a thing, move with it, and move along with it. Just work on it. Try as much as you can. All right. Sometimes I tell people, you brother, even work as hard as you can, and it reaches to a point whereby it's not working. Rather than not working, saying, hey, I wish I tried. It's good when you grow old and you say, hey, I tried this and that and that and that, and you're not doing so to sort of justify yourself or trying to shake off the accountability part, but you're doing that to at least, guess what, I did this and that. For example, if somebody approaches me today and asks me, hey Joseph, how do you come up, how can I be able to make 100,000 followers on YouTube? I've been grown with this YouTube channel. I've been with it throughout the time. It took me an effort, took me over 1 year and 4 months to get my first 1,000 subscribers. You can just imagine how rough it was along the way. Sometimes I didn't have the phone. Sometimes quote unquote, I didn't have the time to actually record some videos. Sometimes I record the videos are not doing good, but you keep on pushing until it reaches to where we are right now. That is exactly how we go about it. So this story was quite of an impressive story that you can be able to earn that amount of money. I hope I've answered the question. I've said the guy is doing the app development, the guy is doing graphic design, and right now is actually learning about the digital marketing. And I had to borrow a leaf from him. Okay, why aren't you satisfied with this? Why are you still pressing on digital marketing? And he said, this is where the real money is. Now he's the one telling me, now I have a friend of mine who is doing this thing, and I can tell you the amount of money he's making in a month. You won't even believe it, because this is where the life is. This is where the future is heading. Actually, not even the future. This is where we are right now. Absolutely, that's the truth. For example, some of you guys text me on the comment section and say, hey Joseph, I didn't know this information, we were never taught in school and all those kind of things. How are you learning these things? Courtesy of online presence. What if I didn't even show up? What if I didn't even record this video? You will never even know whether I exist. That's a fact. So what does that tell you? You should have an online presence. Even if you're starting a business, have an online presence. If you must have an online presence. I always love to record this and say, like, the future CVs, or that the curriculum vitae, will be your social media account. What do you post there? What do you tell people? Are you confident? Rather than just telling them you're confident, they can just go to the social media and see, hey, it's true, this guy is confident. It's true, this lady is confident. You can be able to present yourself. You can express yourself. You have that charisma. You get what I'm saying? You have what we call the sales ability and all those kind of things. So it's always good to make sure that at least you are able to do something for the sake of your development. For now, it's a goodbye, but never forget, my number is always on the description of this specific video. For now, it's a goodbye, and see you in the next one.